loves, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be my labor and delivery video. We have a little guest in the video, and I will show you guys him more towards the end. But yeah, so just to start off, I went into labor at 38 weeks, almost 39 weeks. He was born at the 39 weeks exactly. So yeah, let's just get started. Pretty much I've been contracting. I was contracting since I was like 34 weeks, here and there, and then it just like there'll be days where I'll be contracting and there were days where I wasn't contracting. But I was planning to try to induce my labor because I was over it. I was gonna do sex, but we didn't do sex. I was gonna do the tea. I couldn't find the tea. So the main thing that I just kept wanting to do is the urge of bouncing, like moving on my hips. I did not have my yoga ball here at the apartment, so I have it at my parents, and I never brought it with me, and I never bounced on the yoga ball. So what I would do is I would just pretty much like pretend that I was bouncing on it on the couch. So I would like, you know, like separate my legs, have them like wide open my hips, and just like bounce and like rock my hips side to side. It would help with relieving like some back pressure and like pain from my back. So I would do that like whenever I would get like the urge of like bouncing or some type of urge. And yeah, I'm assuming that's what was helping a lot for me to contract or like, you know, like open up, I believe. And not to mention, he was really low in my pelvis. He was like really down there. And also I was discharging a lot towards the end, and all of a sudden I started losing my mucus plug. There was like 2 times where I had a little bit of, you know, like blood in my mucus. And Saturday the 6th of May, that's when I wasn't contracting at all that day, but I was having bloody mucus. And yeah, so there was one time, and my parents, because I spent the day on Saturday at my parents. I was doing laundry. I stayed at my parents. I was feeling fine. I was just discharging, and before I came back home to the apartment, I had more blood in my, like it was like way more. And then I was about to start folding the laundry, and I started having a contraction, and it was like around 10 p.m. already on Saturday the 6th. It was like 10 p.m. So I started having like a cramp, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's just the same as like the other cramps I would get. But then all of a sudden it stopped. So I'm like, okay, nothing much. I'm only about to turn 39 weeks. I did took my last like boomerang bump update that day, so I'll leave it right here next to my face right here. That was the last boomerang slash bump picture I had. As you guys could see, I was kind of really low, but with this pregnancy I always carried low. With Nathan's pregnancy I carried really up high. So yeah, he was really low that day, and then around 11ish, like I called Jonathan because he went to work during that time when I was having like a cramp before he left. Um, he went to work and I called him around 11 p.m. to see if he was, coming, like if he made it home, not if he made it to work, not home. And he did. And I was letting him know that I was having some cramps, some cramping. And he's like, okay, just let me know if anything changes, if we need to go or not. And then it was getting closer together. I did keep track of my contractions. I will leave a screenshot, if not like a screen recording right here as well. They were getting closer together, and they were starting to get stronger to the point where I was starting not to be able to talk. And it was like, I believe it was getting closer to 11:30. I called him again and I told him, I was like, yeah, you need to come home. We gotta go to the hospital. So he left work, and he had just started his shift too. So he left work and came home. Mind you, he was like almost like not an hour away, but he was pretty far. And I called my mom as well because she was gonna take Nathan. So she met us at the hospital. I had to get the hospital bags ready and Nathan's bag ready that day. My hospital bag was almost like fully done. I just need to get his done. So while I was getting all of that, I was having more contractions and we were getting closer together. And I decided to get in the shower. Yeah, I thought maybe a warm shower would help, with the pain. And nah, maybe a bathtub would have, but we don't have bathtubs in these apartments. Sucks, I know. But I still showered. I took like the quickest shower of my life, to be honest. I got out. I was having another contraction when I got out, and so I was holding myself on the sink while I was contracting. And all of a sudden, I feel some dribbling down there, and it wasn't from the water of the shower. My water has broken. My water has broke, and yeah, but it was just like droplets. So I was like, okay, I felt it from down there, so I'm pretty sure that was my water. And it was like clearish, cloudyish and stuff. So yeah, that was definitely my water. I got out of the shower, and Jonathan had just come inside the house. So yeah, I took some last pictures with my firstborn. Like pretty much like the last pictures of us together. I'll put them right here as well. And then we were driving to the hospital. So mind you, we live on the second floor, so I still had to go down the stairs because I wasn't gonna wait for the elevator. So yeah, we drove to the hospital. I went through the emergency room because I guess you have to go through the emergency room. And they checked me in, and they, it's pretty hard talking and answering questions when you're contracting. Yes. So yeah, I was contracting the whole time. But my mans had to wait for my parents before he went into the room so they could get Nathan. And yeah, he went in, they checked me. I was already 6 centimeters dilated. I almost had him at the house. And this boy's farting. I don't know if you heard him. But yeah, I was 6 centimeters dilated. I asked for the epidural right away. I'm not gonna lie. I asked for it because these contractions were making my legs and my lower back, my tailbone, everything hurt a lot. So mind you, this is kind of like the first time I feel the contractions like this, because with Nathan, I had to be induced. So as soon as I was 4 centimeters dilated, I was able to get the epidural. So with Nathan, I barely even felt the contractions. So with him, I did felt them a lot, and my lower back was hurting. I literally felt my bones in my hips like spreading open and all of that. Yeah. So they did not want to give me the epidural right away until all the paperwork was done. But I was there dying, you know, not literally, but I was dying of pain. And they were really good, and like, you know, like the nurse I got, she was really good, and like supporting me, and you know, giving me like good encouragement. Jonathan was trying to be funny. There was no time to be funny at that time. Yeah. So he was asking if I really need to get the epidural, but I told him to be quiet because I needed the epidural. And then so once all the paperwork was done and everything, they went and put it on the computer, and they checked me one more time, and I was already 8 centimeters dilated. I was still without epidural, but luckily once that was done, they came in with the epidural. They explained everything with me. They told me all the benefits and like the non-beneficial of the epidural. So yeah, but they gave it to me, and during the whole time of having contractions, I was having the shakes, the labor shakes, and then also after the epidural, I got the shakes even more. So I was like really shaking. And then throughout my whole pregnancy, FYI, I did have heartburn, but look at him, he barely has any hair. But also when I was like there, like already like not relaxing, but you know, without pain, like not feeling the pain. Like I started getting heartburn, and I asked them if they could give me anything with the heart, like for the heartburn, but they couldn't really give me anything. So I asked for some ice chips, and that helped a lot with the heartburn. So yeah, I would chew on the ice chips and all, and then they just kept checking me, and I was almost 10 centimeters dilated. I would say within maybe I don't know. I don't think it was within the hour. To be honest, I don't even know how, like, the time. All I remember is the process. So, I know it took a while. Not a whole while. Because we got to the hospital like at 12-ish. And they gave me the epidural maybe like at 1? I don't know. So don't even ask about the times. But we got to the hospital like at 12-ish. And then, yeah. After that, I don't remember anything. But they checked me more towards the end, and I was still feeling pressure. Even though I wasn't feeling the pain, I was still feeling pressure. And I was telling them, I was like, I feel pressure down there, like a lot, like on my butt. And they checked me and I was almost 10 centimeters dilated, but like effaced, I guess. Like my right side of it wasn't fully effaced. Like it wasn't like softening up, I'm assuming that's what they were saying. So they put me on my right side and they gave me the peanut ball. The peanut ball also helped a lot with Nathan's labor, so I knew it was gonna help a lot with this one, and they did. And they opened me up with that, and like a couple minutes later, they checked me again because I was feeling even more pressure, and yeah, it was about to be time to push. And Jonathan was sleeping during that time, FYI. But yeah, it was time to push. They came in. I gave a couple pushes with the nurse. And she's so like, "Yep, he's coming. He's like, you're perfectly pushing." And they called for the doctor. Doctor was great as well. He was like a good doctor. And they talked me through the process. Obviously, they asked me if I remember how to push. I told them yes, and I gave like maybe 4 pushes, maybe 5 pushes, and he came out. So yeah, he came out pretty good. I did have 1 stitch. They did put 1 stitch compared to Nathan's pregnancy and labor. I mean, I had 3 stitches with him, but with this one, I had only 1, which is good. And so yeah, I only pushed 5 times maybe. I know I didn't take that long to push, but he came out right away. And he came out with the sac still on him. So apparently where my water rupture was on the top, so at the bottom there was still like the bag, the amniotic sac or whatever it's called, covering him, and there was still a little bit of liquid. So we got to see that. I wish we could have recorded that or taken a picture of that. Obviously maybe I wouldn't have shown you because that's gross, but yeah, he came out perfectly. He cried almost right away as soon as they opened the sac. He was measuring 19 inches just like Nathan. He weighed 7 pounds 7 ounces, so he is a big boy. Born at exactly 39 weeks gestation, at 5:45 a.m. on May 7th. So he came a whole week early. Nathan came a whole week late. So yeah, my little lucky number baby, because it's 7 for weight, 7 for ounces, and 7 for his date of birth. Yeah, little lucky baby. And FYI, they always measured him a week ahead when he was even a little itty bitty jelly bean. They would say that he was measuring like a week ahead when compared to like my last menstrual cycle. But yeah, I'm assuming he's always been a big baby, even as a jelly bean. But yeah, that was my labor and delivery. My first time like actually feeling all of the contractions. That was crazy. So yeah. So this is, let me clean his little mouth. I didn't bring a napkin because he was eating right now. So this is Damien Alexander. Damien Alexander. Ooh. He is currently 1 month, and some days he will be 2 months on July 7th. But yeah, this is Damien Alexander. Just perfect. He looked just like Nathan when he was born. Obviously now he's starting to look different. But I say he looks more like my side of the family. And Nathan looked more like his dad's side. But yeah, I am breastfeeding and formula feeding. My milk didn't really come in, but I'm still producing a little bit of milk. But yeah, I go back to work this Friday, unfortunately, on June 23rd. I wish I could have stayed a little longer. His daddy is going to be watching him. And yeah. Oh. Nathan does love him, but Nathan still has that clinginess towards me. We have recently started to get him to go out. Like, he did not want to go out at all. But he loves him. He wants to, like, touch him and, like, feed him. Sometimes, like, he'll help me feed him. He'll want to carry him. So, yeah. But I feel like it's just him getting used to having a brother, getting used to sharing mommy and daddy. But yeah, and obviously I'm still trying to learn to take care of both of them, pero también I'm gonna have to learn to take care of myself, especially mentally, because I have been having baby blues, or I don't know, some signs of postpartum depression. I don't know, but I am seeking already help. I have my first appointment coming up, so I just gotta make sure I take care of myself as well, and yeah, just to be a better mommy for them, I have to be good. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed my labor and delivery video. I know it's been a while, like literally like a month and some days, almost 2 months, but since I'm going back to work, I decided to film it soon. I know I was all over the place, I'm sorry, but yeah. So yeah, he's gonna be 2 months on July 7th. I'm gonna be 2 months postpartum. So far it looks like I lost most of my baby weight. My post weight before I got pregnant, I was 124. My last weight was 148, 150, around there. And I already had my postpartum checkup last week, and everything looks fine. Everything looks healed. My weight was 129.4, so almost 130. So almost there. Yeah, I'm allowed to start working now. Just starting a little bit, little by little. So yeah, I'll be working out and just be the best mommy I can be for my two boys. Well, I have another baby. We'll see in 3 years, because that's the age gaps that I want all my kids, 3 years. So we will see in 3 years, but for right now, mentally, no. Also, one of the questions I have been getting asked is if I got in any birth control, and I did not this time around because I don't want it to mess with my hormones, especially since I'm like, not like having postpartum blues or postpartum depression. I'd rather not mess with my hormones because I know I would get even worse. But condoms are our birth control right now. Have we done it? No, we have not. But yeah, again, this is my little baby boy. Hey, You're milk drunk, huh? You are milk drunk. So baby boy. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.